Hello, Brett. Hello, world. This is another edition of the White Rice Network. And what episode number is this, Brett? I'll just leave it up to you for
I'm gonna say this is probably like our seventh episode.
seventh episode. Still going
Yes.
strong. So let's go ahead with this Sora intro.
White Rice Network starts now.
Well, hello, ladies
Where'd
and gentlemen.
There I am.
So, I know you're in New York. How's everything going over there?
It's all right, man. You know,
Snowing? How's the weather?
It's not bad. It's
Not bad?
just, you know, the thing about New York is that it's just dark and gloomy so much. You know, like you wake up in the morning and it's still dark out.
Is that a good thing or a bad
And
thing?
it's, I mean, I prefer the sunshine, the bright rays of LA myself. I used to never think that I would be like a LA person over New York, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, when we first met, I would talk shit about LA, you know? New York is so much better, and New York is awesome, but man, the sun and the
It's such a cliche thing to
aesthetic.
say, though. I mean, it's such, but it's so true. When people from the West Coast is like, from LA specific, are like, "Oh, it's the weather," and people are like, "Oh, it's such a cliche," but it's true. It's
It's what keeps everybody here now, or
Yeah,
in LA. It's
exactly.
like the weather.
I don't think my wife misses New York. Babe, do you miss New York at all? You miss New York? You miss New York? Yeah. No? She's like, no. She doesn't miss New York.
Yeah, I don't really either. I mean, when I'm here, I'm like,
She misses the food and the pizza. I swear to God, are you
There
and
you
Keish? Are you and Keish the same way? Are you like, oh, there's something in the
Yeah.
water with the New York pizza? I'm like, come on, guys, come on, stop it. You guys are being completely
that
biased.
is-
No,
that
no.
is true.
Oh my
It is
God,
true.
dude, come
Yeah.
on.
And let me explain.
See,
and
she's
let me
still
explain.
bickering over there.
No, let me explain. So New
Hold on,
York
he's gonna
City
explain, babe.
gets-
No, go ahead.
New York City gets its water from a reservoir in upstate New York, and it is just the purest, most crisp water.
That's what my wife says.
and
It's something in the water.
And the pizza is far superior, and the food
I
in general.
mean, I don't know, bro. I mean, I know there's this one
There's-
pizza spot in LA. It's like, we import the water from New York. I'm like, okay, that's a gimmick.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. But it is true though. The food is way better. Here, this is what I say to people.
What kind of food? What kind of
any
food do you... No, I see. I disagree. I think,
Any food. Pick a
come-
kind of food,
Brett,
and it's better here.
in my opinion, I think the city where the nearest, like, any Chinese food will be better in the West Coast than it is the East Coast.
No.
And no.
Good Lord,
Like,
no.
Italian?
Good God,
No,
no.
hold on. My wife's fucking getting mad at me right now. Italian
she
food
should.
will always be better at the East Coast. Oh, my. We got two people talking at once. Hold on.
No,
It'll always be better on the coast
no.
that's closest to the home country. It makes sense.
no,
It makes sense.
no. I see how you could think that makes sense, but it's not the case. First of all, Chinese food in particular is so much better on the East Coast. Like the best Chinese food on the West Coast is like Panda Express.
Oh, my
You know?
gosh.
That's like the best you got.
That is not
And-
the best Chinese food.
Or PF Chang's. PF Chang's.
Not even PF.
Chang's.
I'm about to
No.
make my wife's head explode over there in the kitchen.
Here's the thing: you go into any restaurant in New York City, and it's good. It's good food. You can't just walk into any place in LA and expect it to be good.
I mean,
There's great restaurants in LA, but you can't just walk into any restaurant and
You-
and expect that it's going to be amazing.
I'm guessing you, Keish, and my wife suffer from New York bias syndrome. You
No,
guys,
it's called-
you guys are so it's all about New York for you guys. Everything's,
It's
especially
called
the food.
reality. It's called the cold hard truth.
It's called being in the
Some
cult. That's what I call it.
There's times where people
You
know how
can-
people love to wait in a line in LA. They
Yeah.
love waiting in a line, and just because there's a line, it must be good. And we went to this breakfast spot near us, and I'm not going to say the name of the place because I don't want to give them bad rap. But there's a line every weekend. You can't get into this place. This breakfast spot, this brunch spot, we finally went. It is pure trash, man. The menu seems like it was made by a third grader with diabetes. The French toast all has all has like sugary cereals caked onto it.
That's the best kind of French toast.
Awful. Oh God, Fruity Pebbles French toast. Is that what you like?
Yeah. What's up with that? But I mean, before we get into stories, I mean, it is. I mean, to me, it makes sense to me. Like in the West Coast, especially LA, Mexican food, any kind of Asian food, I would say even to a certain extent, barbecue will always be better in the West Coast. And then anything in the East Coast,
I'd give you barbecue and Korean food maybe, but like
Chinese food, Filipino food, any kind of
though,
Asian food. Babe, I'm not even listening to you right now.
New York for generations. Your wife's still going.
My wife is going like. Don't you not have headphones on? I can't listen to you.
For years, New York City was the cultural hub, especially the culinary schools and all that are all far superior there. So, regardless of where you came from, you went to New York City to be the best Chinese chef, to be the best Japanese chef, the best
I agree with that.
Italian, whatever. And LA has some good food and it has some really good food, but on the whole, it's not.
I gotta disagree with just the way you brush off it. Some good food.
Well, I mean, you might
Excuse
not like
me,
that,
Brett.
It's not the same. It's not even remotely the same.
All right. Well, I beg to differ. Anyways, should we go to this first story, which I think is a little leading political story right now. Let's go ahead and do this.
We're learning more about why Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene made a shocking announcement that she will resign from Congress in January. And we're hearing new reaction from President Trump.
Once I left her, she resigned because she would never have survived a primary.
We spoke to someone close to Greene on Saturday morning, told us, quote, everyone in the world found out at the same time. Greene posted this 10-minute video on X last night saying her biggest goals have been holding the Republican Party accountable and fighting Democratic policy disagreed with.
With that has brought years of non-stop, never-ending personal attacks, death threats, lawfare, ridiculous slander and lies about me. It has been unfair and wrong, not only to me, but especially to my family.
That person close to Greene also told us that the threats made against Greene and her children, all in their 20s, influenced her decision to step away.
Do you think that's true, by the way? I think that's true. I think
that she was getting death threats?
Well, 100%, her and her family. But I think there's something deeper, something that the public doesn't know about this one particular situation. I don't know what that is.
I think that's always the case, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever have complete transparency with this.
AOC did a Instagram live where she spilled the tea and said that she wanted to run for Senate. She's a House member, right? Not a
yeah, she's a House member.
To run for Senate, and Trump said that he wasn't going to back her.
Yeah,
for the
because
Senate race.
he didn't like the polling numbers. Like he really felt like she wasn't going to win.
I don't know. I always find it strange when a politician all of a sudden is singing a different.
Well, I just find it like, talk about loyalty. She was like the most loyal thing to Trump, and all of a sudden.
Well, yeah, there must have been a falling out with Trump.
100%. I think it has something to do with the Epstein files. I think to a certain extent, it has to be at probably a certain percentage.
Well, the thing of it is like the thing that's so dirty about politics. Even if she did have a sudden change in conscience, you can't win over the other side. You can get like some points from them, all like liberals and Democrats were like, oh yay, look, Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying the things we like now, but like they were never going to vote for her.
Yeah.
If she ran as, she would never be able to be a Democrat or even as an independent get Democratic votes. So it's like she lost all of her political capital.
Well, and it's interesting too, Beck.
I think that's a thing that.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I think that's a difficult thing for some Republicans is like whether they agree with Trump or like Trump or not. I feel like a lot of them have to like cozy up to Trump in order to get his political power. Get the rub from his political power.
Her and Thomas Massie has completely broke that Trump coalition like altogether. There's really like there's really a line between the MAGA people and just regular conservatives now than there was ever before.
Yeah. Let's
see what happens. I don't know. I think again, I don't know exactly. I don't think we'll ever find out 100% what her motives are. But is she, I hear stories like she wants to run for president. I'm like, no, I don't think she's that stupid.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, there's always a possibility, right?
But like, what would she, as a Republican, would she be able to win a Republican primary against J.D. Vance and whoever else runs?
Yeah.
I don't think
Good.
so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I have no idea what the Republican Party is going to look like after Trump. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know what the Republican Party looks like right now. All I do know is for the Democrats, I like the only person I like is Fetterman. That's the only guy I like.
Yeah.
So.
But again, there's another example because he has his own opinions and he goes against the grain and the messaging of the party. He loses a lot of support from them. So if he were to run for a larger office like president or whatever, he wouldn't be able to get the Democratic support.
But do you think there's something to be said about the populist right and the populist left getting together to form its own coalition? Because I feel like that could be the next, I would say, political party, because it seems
the issue is that the parties worked so hard together to make sure that there isn't a third party.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Democrats every election cycle literally will sue the Green Party.
Yeah.
To tie them up in litigation to make sure that they're not on the ballot.
That's
and
crazy.
And the Republicans do that with the Libertarians. So it's like,
but that's what I mean. If the Libertarians
they also set the rules for the debates, so they can't, like, a third party can't really get in.
Yeah. Not unless you have a lot of money like Ross Perot, And that's like the last third-party candidate to even make some sort of stride. What was that, back in the 80s?
He ran in the election with Bill Clinton and H.W. Bush.
Yeah, H.W.
But Ross Perot could have done even better because Ross Perot dropped out of that race for a little while and got back in.
Yeah.
And if he had just stayed in, I think he got something like around, I don't know if it was 20% of the vote or something like that, but like he got a good chunk
significant.
It's
fairly significant.
I don't think he won any states, but he did get a decent chunk of the popular vote. Ralph Nader did okay in 2000, but I think it's tough for the Republicans and the Democrats just make it nearly impossible for a third party to be formed, which there definitely needs to be at least, I think, 2 more parties. I think there should be Green Party and the Libertarian Party, and then like an independent party. I think there should be 5 parties.
Well, let's start with 3 first. I think there should be a coalition with the Libertarians and the Green Party, the Independents, the Populist Left, and the Right. I mean, it has to be a big enough coalition for it to be even considered a third party to have some sort of chance with the Democrats and Republicans anyway. So I feel like that kind of coalition could exist, but there's just so much BS that goes behind it.
Well, and also there should be an independent commission that handles the debates. Instead of the Republicans and Democrats, the DNC and the RNC deciding how you qualify for a debate.
Yeah. It should completely be independent.
Well, years ago, it used to be this thing called the League of Women Voters to run the debates. And I think that was like in the 80s into the 90s, maybe into the early 2000s or something. But they haven't done that in years and years.
So what entity runs it now? Is it
the
just
RNC and the DNC? Yeah.
All right, should we get to the next news story?
Especially after the meeting. Absolutely.
What makes you comfortable?
We agree on a lot more than I would have thought. I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually. And some very liberal people he won't surprise them because they already like him. He said a lot of my voters actually voted for him, and I'm okay with that.
And when we spoke to those voters who voted for President Trump, we heard them speak about cost of living. We focus on that same cost of living, and that's where I am really looking forward to delivering for New Yorkers in partnership with the president on the affordability agenda.
And I will say there's no difference in party, there's no difference in anything, and we're going to be helping him to make everybody's dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York, and congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
That's unbelievable.
I didn't have that on my bingo card.
Yeah, dude. I mean, even the CNN news article I just read, like New Yorkers praise Zoran charm offensive on Trump, say they remain cautiously optimistic. I don't know what kind of backroom deals are going on. There's definitely something going on.
Well, Yeah, I mean, who knows? But like, I think that people are so addicted to divisiveness that like people couldn't even accept this. That was like kind of one of the annoying things I saw from people is just like, still trying. I think people's minds are so like oriented towards opposites. Like, it's hard for them to, if one thing is true, the opposite must be completely wrong. I think where the population is actually why there's so much division, and the politicians just play on that division. Because there was a lot of people who couldn't even accept this. They still had to trash Trump, or like, you know what I mean? Instead of being like, oh, wait, great, finally. See, like, people of the opposite political spectrum, like, working together.
Literally
like
on the opposite side of the fringes. Like, literally self-proclaimed.
But a lot of people have referred to them as, like, they're more similar in ways because they both ran on populist ideas.
100%.
Affordability and stuff like that. I think the Democrats would be fine if they didn't play into the hateful, divisive rhetoric. Quite frankly, I mean, we know people. They're just bitter, angry people that enjoy having fights with people, and they don't really want things to get better. They just kind of want to be in a perpetual war with people who they think are different than them.
Yep.
And I think this kind of showed it for some people. It's like, if you can't just be like, oh, this is good, finally things are moving in the right direction, that's because there's something wrong.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens with this Mandani situation.
Well, I think Mandani is realizing, as he's now in office, like, it's one thing to run for office, like, and to talk how you talk when you run for office. It's quite another to, like, face the reality of, like, actually govern.
Yeah. I mean, what they say, you can campaign to your base and then you govern from the center, right?
And then, like, a more kind of another phrase I heard during the election is that you campaign in poetry and you govern in prose. I think is a great analogy. Like,
Makes sense.
You can afford to be kind of a bit more bombastic and romantic and stuff like that when you're running, and then when it's like, all right, here's the regulations and of actually being the governor, and here's your limits, or a mayor, and as a mayor of New York City, he has to get approval from who has a bigger, broader base of people too, and then that person in New York is dependent on the federal government, president and Congress for funding and stuff like that. So I don't know. I mean, I definitely thought Mandani was, because I spent a lot of time with people like that at NYU and Columbia when I lived in New York and lived with those people. It's like they are kind of like very hateful in a lot of ways, and I
to say the
just
least
thought that, like, oh, he's gonna come in and talk about how much he hates white people and, like, attack the rich and be divisive, but hopefully that's not the case, and maybe this is a sign that he's actually interested in being a mature statesman.
Watch him come up with a rap album next month.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. If you look at, like, some of his previous, just like a hardcore, mean-spirited, angry, woke kid.
Yeah, dude.
And it's like,
as we all were to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to fault him for that.
No, especially now if he's not behaving that actually mayor. That's
All right, well, let's get into this next article, which I find interesting. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Might be run out of a different country? The backstory here is that X just rolled out this new feature that allows people to see more information about accounts, including where that user is from. For instance, here's the information that people could see about my account. But check this out right here. What is that all about? Anyways, right after that feature rolled out, X abruptly announced that they were going to pause the account location feature for an unknown reason. And then just a couple hours ago, they announced that they will be once again rolling this feature out where you can see where people's accounts are based. Except now, when you go to the DHS page, that information has all been scrubbed. Which is really weird because when you go to other people's accounts, that information appears to still be available. X says that based on where the actual person is who's running the account, that location information could change, which is why they're doing some kind of randomized delayed schedule to ensure that it's not possible to dox somebody, which suggests that they are maybe manually removing that information from some accounts for maybe national security reasons. Like, the location information is also not available for the official White House account. But interestingly, the geolocation for one Pastor Rob McCoy is also not available. If you know, you know. So it turns out...
See, this is how believing it's conspiracy theories.
Conspiratorial, is that?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's like this is how, to a certain extent, how anti-Semitism kind of.
Well, I mean, what conclusion are you supposed to draw besides the fact that this Twitter account is being run out of Israel?
Like,
that's I don't even know if that's a conspiracy. It seems. I don't know. I mean, we give them so much. Don't we give them
$30 billion?
Yeah.
$40 billion a year.
So clearly, they're kind of,
yeah,
at the very least, a large influence on how our country is operated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. I think people are conflating. I think when you criticize the Israeli government to criticizing the Jewish people, which are two totally separate things, and people just put that all under one umbrella, and I'm like, no, I just want to criticize the Israeli government and the IDF and their action, not really the Jewish people, but people conflate that with anti-Semitism somehow.
Well, it's a really good tactic to make people not do that.
That's what Ben Shapiro does all the time.
I mean, the minute you have like a legitimate criticism about how Israel and AIPAC and that kind of stuff operates, you're an anti-Semite.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's really unfair. It's like,
it really is.
Immediately shuts down legitimate conversations and concerns.
And that's why people are so, what you said, conspiratorial, is because, with the Charlie Kirk stuff, with the Epstein stuff, it's like there's a tie to Israel.
Yeah.
There's a tie. And, when you have stories like this that's being kind of depressed and not being known, I mean, you're going to have people think like the way they do, Oh, wow, is that an answering machine I've never heard?
I'm at my mother-in-law's. We got a.
Is that a landline?
A traditional landline here. I don't even know what to do. What do you do when it makes that sound?
My goodness, that just took me back to like the 90s.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll stop. Oh, there it goes. It's off now.
But yeah, man.
Remember when you were a kid, the phone rang and you just answered it?
You 100%.
The phone's ringing. Hello, who's there?
Yeah, I was telling people, because I work with people who are like 20 years old, and I was telling them, like, there was a time in my life when I was like with my ex-girlfriends in high school. There was a time when I was arguing on the phone, and then one of your parents would pick up. And then it was so obvious they picked up and they didn't say nothing. And then you had to be like, Mom, get off the phone, and be like, stop arguing, go to bed.
Yeah, or remember, you just had to call and be like, hey, Mr. So-and-so, is Lisa home?
Yeah.
That
is so true. You didn't know who was going to pick up the phone, and you had a default introduction. Hello is,
It gave you some character.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. There was a level of civility. You had a level of baseline civility.
You had to have a shtick.
You do.
You had to have a good shtick.
You did. Did you ever rock a pager right away?
I never had a pager.
You never had a pager?
No, because I was kind of like, my mom I remember pager. But I was like a little young for a pager, and then I just went without that. And then when I remember I had a Sprint cell phone that was just like a small version of a landline phone, basically.
Yeah.
And that was like my senior year in high school. I got a Sprint phone, but yeah. I mean, the whole Israel thing is just like, it's so obvious that even without this, it's like we all kind of knew that they kind of, if they didn't run our government, they certainly have a mega influence on it.
100%.
Probably fund all of our politicians, basically.
And I know, to play devil's advocate, it's like what they would say is, there's apex that exists for other countries. It's just they're just the most known. But I'm like, well, you guys donate the most money to politicians. That's why.
Yeah.
I know.
You see when Gavin Newsom got asked about AIPAC on that podcast, and he got all nervous, and he said that was interesting like 10 times. He's like, it's just interesting. It's just interesting that you would bring up AIPAC. I don't. Just interesting. They're like, why is it interesting? He's like, oh, it's just interesting that you're focusing. I don't even know about AIPAC. I haven't even heard about AIPAC.
All right, well, let's go into this. This one too. That's been kind of trending.
Is this more pop culture? Oh yeah.
Head. Oh no. And if you slow it down, you can see the exact moment his heart breaks.
Oh, this is rough.
Oh God, it's so painful. He's going in.
Let's watch another one. Let's watch this one.
Yeah.
I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. I was popping my pussy.
Is that even a thing, dude? Is this AI? That sucks if this was your wife to be saying this.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, that really sucked.
And just to know that this was the only woman you lost your virginity to.
Well, also, Akash
Right?
is not white, so, you know.
And living my best life in these white boy frat houses. And I had a roster of guys that I would rotate through.
Stop it.
Sometimes
One more.
We got one more.
Your husband.
Bria, I'm actively trying to have an orgy because this couple is so fucking good looking, and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband.
No, I kind of love it, but I'm like, us for it? Okay, maybe.
I just know that.
Is she just being provocative? Is she just? What do you think? What do you think her thing is? What's her plan?
I think she's being provocative, but I don't think she's just saying it because it's provocative.
Do you think she's serious about this stuff?
That's coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but well, think about it. When you do comedy, are your jokes just like, oh, I'm gonna say something completely detached from what I think? I mean, sometimes maybe. But not really. I mean, it at least stems at least somewhat from something you actually think. Otherwise, you wouldn't be saying it. You know, it has to be in your consciousness somewhere.
I wonder if Schultz and Akash had a podcast, because I know I don't know how many times they do their podcast, but I want to know if they've done a podcast yet, because this is trending.
With her?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No? Okay, so
No.
if they completely avoid this issue on their next podcast,
That's tough. That's a giant elephant sitting right next to you in the room.
Right? I mean, you have to talk about this. You have to.
I don't know if it's in that clip, but she goes on to talk about, they're on the podcast and they're talking about The Boys, the show The Boys, and Chase Crawford. And she's like, oh, I love Chase Crawford. Like, he's on my hall pass list. Jacob Elordi, Austin Butler. And it's like, then she makes the comment about the white boy frat houses. And
yeah.
That especially has to suck, you know, because Akash is not white, obviously. So it's like, but then she was talking about how she wanted to bang that Indian dude. So, you know, but like, that's got to really suck if you're like, it's obvious that your wife's like preference is not something that you are.
Yeah.
At all. That's got to really suck a lot.
Nav's dick is like,
I mean,
at least 10 inches.
I needed to breathe, literally.
Wait, another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about that are so funny is, Akash, I know Naveen hasn't or is the scammer, but have you been a scam before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, yeah.
Did you just call me a scammer?
Yeah, you are a scammer.
Yeah.
No, he's like, no, I know.
There's a difference being a scammer and being a hustler. Two very different things.
Okay.
I'm a hustler who scams a little bit. I'm not a scammer who
I'm not
hustles.
gonna lie, that was sexy, and that's why I'm actively trying to have an orgy.
Wait, but thank you guys for being.
See, that's what I mean. It's like.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is just being provocative.
She's like, is she doing this for the clicks? See, I mean, I feel like
she's probably like, you know, she sees her husband doing stand up and is like, oh, this is what it takes to be funny. You say provocative things or outrageous things or controversial things, and it gets going. You know, gets some traction. But like, it's coming from someplace. You know. Also, you do want to bang that dude. Yeah. You know, and you're saying that with your husband sitting right next to you. So that's got to suck a bit. I mean, I wouldn't want to, and I wouldn't
want to be. Thank God.
Thank God my wife has no desire to be an influencer or famous.
Same. Ain't God same.
You know, that'd be tough to deal with, especially because it's like relationships are hard enough as it is, and like you don't need to.
You're gonna have two public profiles on the internet.
Yeah.
It's too much.
You don't need to add like the public weighing in on your God.
Well, no. Oh my goodness. If we were if we had 2 million followers, I bet you that New York conversation it would totally go in our significant others, you know?
Well, dude, I had to get rid of the TikTok because those comments on there.
Bro, don't do it, man. Don't do it. Don't engage.
I wanted to track those people down and confront them in real life. I tell you, I turned into Liam Neeson from Taken. I don't know who you are.
I don't know who you are.
I will look for you, and I will find you. That was no good. I like some of the comments. It's so funny when you see some of these comments.
100%.
I'm shocked that someone came to that conclusion or said something like that.
Yeah, dude.
And so many of the comments are like, there's this one guy that I noticed that kept making all the comments on our videos. That he was like, in one of like his comment was something like, oh, it was it was like, oh, the Asian dude's on top again. You know, these two love the Asians.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, I've never heard that expression ever. And I was not expecting that.
Something if they were with you face to face, something they would never say. But of course, like what I said last week or the week before, is they hide behind their profiles. They're vigilante warriors behind the keyboard.
Yeah, they have avatars for their profile pictures. You know what they look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely. I saw, Scott Galloway, that professor guy who's on MSNBC. He goes on Bill Maher. He has his own podcast. He said something interesting that the algorithm, the tech algorithms kind of figured out that even beyond sex, which used to be the big, driving force of advertising, sex sells, that expression. Of course. The tech guys realized that of engagement even more was rage and fighting. And because you don't, sexuality, you see a hot model on a billboard, you can admire, but most guys can't ever even talk to that girl in real life. So there's a limited amount of interaction that's going to come from. Whereas every loser can profile avatar and, say horrible things about someone who's actually putting themselves out there into the world. Yeah, that's and they all have access to that.
You're so right, because I'm an X user, so every time every time I'm an X. Every time there's a hot girl that posts something, I stay in it for a couple seconds, and then, anytime I see a fight video, I watch it to its entirety. Yeah. So it's just about sex and rage all the time. Yeah. And it's it's for a guy, it's appealing for the eyes. So.
But there's only so much interaction, Yeah. There's only so much engagement. Yeah. Because it's not like there's actually, Trevor Wallace, the comedian.
Yeah. I do.
He has a funny video where he's like, man, I got some shit. It's him just sitting at home, and there's some Instagram girl posting a bikini pic, and he's on his phone, and he's like, oh yeah, nice. He's like, I'm gonna give that a like, and he likes it, and then the doorbell rings, and it's that girl, and she's like, hey, I noticed that you liked my Instagram post. Do you mind if I suck you off? And he's like, yeah, sure. But every guy, deep down inside, they do kind of think they're
100. Yes.
They're hoping that leads to a DM.
I mean,
some hot chick who's gonna be like, "Oh, thank you so much."
One can fantasize.
You want to bang?
Speaking of people with hateful comments that should be punched in the face, there's this. Dude, that size difference is ridiculous, though. Bro, I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch this fight. Look, if he goes toe to toe with Anthony Joshua for I don't know how many rounds, and he survives, legitimate boxer to me. Legitimate. I'm not even questioning. Oh, hold on. Brett, you're off. I can't hear you. Hold on. Okay.
Oh, how about now?
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, okay. One, is it gonna happen? Two, is it gonna be a real fight?
Oh, that's true too.
Because Mike Tyson multiple times could have knocked him out or killed him, held back. So I don't know if that was a legitimate fight. A lot of people don't think it was. If it is a real fight, it has less than no chance.
Yeah, that's what I would say. But I don't know. I mean, you never know. I mean, how could you know?
Sometimes you do. I mean, what is he? 200 pounds at his biggest?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Around there,
Anthony
probably
Joshua's
hovers.
what, like 6'4", 240?
240. Yeah.
And like a beast of an athlete, and I don't know. I mean, he knocked out Francis Ngannou in what, a minute or 30 seconds or something like that.
Yeah.
Francis Ngannou, who's 6'5", 260. I would be surprised if it's a real fight, and I'd be surprised if the fight actually happens. But
I mean,
we'll see.
yeah.
I'll definitely be watching if it does.
I mean, not to say that a person as small as Jake Paul compared to Anthony could have a chance. I mean, it just takes one punch. Like every combat sports just takes one good punch. And there's something about his speed that heavyweights would just envy. But I don't know.
Let me see the size difference between these two.
Size and weight.
Anthony Joshua is 6'6" and weighs 252.
Jesus, even worse.
Jake Paul is 6'1" and weighs 2.
That's a 40-pound difference, dude. That's a lot of weight.
Difference, a reach difference of 6 inches.
A height difference of about 6 inches as well. Ooh, that's tough. Not to say that it's impossible.
Not impossible. Yeah, I'll definitely be watching. Sounds like I'm echoing in the background. Does it sound like that to you?
Not on my end.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I mean, if the fight actually goes down, I mean, he beat Francis Ngannou. I think it was like 45 seconds or something, or 30 seconds. Like, he knocked him out. So he could kill Jake Paul.
100%.
I mean, if Jake Paul, like you said, I guess you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, he could hang in there with him.
There is a slight echo. Go ahead. What was that button you pressed? Yeah.
It was on the headset. I think it muted me.
Did I mute you?
Before. No, I muted myself by pressing this button.
Go ahead and mute yourself and unmute you. Okay, muted. Now I think that sounds a little better, but let's see. All right. Hello? Could you hear me? Okay, so I kind of want to, this is a AI generated video for the next video, but I just want your opinion and tell me yes or no. Quick question. Yes or no, if you would approve this. Next statue in front of Dodger Stadium. Dude, yeah, 100%.
Man, that World Series was one of the greatest sporting events I've ever seen. If not the greatest sporting event I've ever seen.
Oh my God, bro. 100%.
For me, it was up there when the Giants beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah. Is that the one with the helmet with the gum in the helmet? Oh, with Eli. Yeah. Who was the person that made that catch on the Giants?
David Tyree.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And he was a special teams guy. He was like this. He wasn't like a normal wide receiver. I think that was his first catch all year.
I remember watching that that same game, the Giants game. I was I kind of did like a Roberts where he was just holding his hat when he made that catch. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on?
That was incredible.
Oh my God.
That World Series, those last two games had so many like amazing plays.
It has to be up there with one of the greatest of all time. I mean, that seventh game was hands down probably the greatest single World Series game of all time, in my opinion.
It was up there.
It has to be. It has to be.
And Game 3, the 18-inning game, was incredible.
I mean, especially when it came down to who was that pitcher, that Dodger pitcher
with the red beard.
Yeah, was it Klein?
Klein.
Yeah. Who the hell was that guy? Hero.
He was the last pitcher in the bullpen.
Hero, bro.
And the guy before him, Enriquez. Also,
yeah.
I think they were both not on the roster.
Yeah.
At the beginning, and they both pitched. Gave up no runs. Like that Klein dude, man, he earned himself at least one more year in the big leagues.
At least, dude. At least.
That was incredible. And then, and the Freddie Freeman again.
Yeah, bro. I mean, if there's one it should be hands in hand. It should be one statue where Freeman is actually in the process of after a hit, and then that Pages and Hernandez statue side to side. I think people will be satisfied with that.
Yeah, but then you got to get a Shohei statue out there.
I mean, Shohei will eventually get a statue up. I'm not I'm not skeptical with that. You know, I know for a fact that's gonna happen.
That was the best sporting event I've seen in many years.
I mean, you need a Miguel Rojas statue up there too. Gosh, there's just so many.
There's gonna be 20 statues outside of Dodger Stadium. The whole stadium's just gonna be covered with statues.
You know, you need a Hamamoto statue up there. I mean, gosh.
Yamamoto definitely deserves a statue.
I mean, that's samurai up there. It's a samurai, bro.
Straight samurai. coming, winning he won 3 games, right?
Yeah.
Because he got the win in the last game, coming out of the bullpen.
Hold on, when was his complete game?
Game 2.
What was it, game 2?
Right.
That was amazing too. Jesus. All right, this is our last article. We're already 50 minutes in. Yeah, this was weird, dude.
Oh God, these people.
Today we get to do popular. Can you believe that we're doing popular today? It's going to be so great. That joy he wanted to infuse in every frame, so that when you've experienced the film with all the tears and everything else, you feel the joy in every single frame. So I wanted to say that on his behalf. Every day he would.
What the hell, dude? Another one.
Even through this press tour, something's bothering her. She's gonna fix something. I know. She's getting the fixing itch that Cynthia Erivo gets.
It's not there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, because the thing is.
Today we get to do popular. It's going to be so great.
Oh my goodness.
Weird.
Kids.
You know, you were asking earlier about Akash's wife, if she's putting on an act. It's hard to tell spent a lot of time with actors in acting classes and whatnot.
Yeah, same.
It's hard to tell where authenticity begins and where performance ends. You know, was Ariana Grande was her arm like broken from that guy doing that?
Is she really that fragile?
Are you? Well, dude, I last year, was it last year? I bartended an event for their Oscar campaign at some place in Hollywood. The two of them in person, you know, the camera adds like weight to you, which is like a true thing. Two of them in person, it's like looking at someone and immediately like you have concern for their well-being because of how waifishly small they
skinny.
both are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both really small people, like short, bony, like uncomfortable to look at in real life. So I don't know, something. They're strange people. But again, is it authentic?
I mean, you never know. I mean, that's the thing with actors too. Is like, you know, you probably work with actors more than I have, but I worked with a handful, and yeah, you're right. I mean, I just don't know. A lot of them are just not authentic to me. They're not genuine. There's always like some sort of I'm always a little skeptical of the way they act.
Yeah,
me personally.
I want to look up
Ariana Grande's weight.
Yeah,
it's in the two digits for sure.
So they revealed that Cynthia Erivo said that they are in a non-demi-curious, semi-binary relationship. Which means,
what does that mean?
I'll tell you. It means we are not actually a couple, but we are curious about what that could mean and everything. But then also, I heard this is...
I'm confused.
Maybe that's not real. Maybe that's just internet talk.
What's the definition?
A non-demi but then I looked on. I don't want to be one of those people that I am a non-demi-curious, semi-binary relationship. I don't know if they actually said that.
Say that again. What is it?
Well, actually, I am seeing some sources here that says that she did say.
But what? Give me that term again.
Slow. Non-demi.
Non-demi.
D-E-M-I. Curious. Semi.
Binary. Let's see what ChatGPT says.
Even ChatGPT is like, it means it's a bunch of bullshit.
It says a non-demi semi-binary relationship isn't an established or common term in the LGBT, blah, blah, blah. It sounds like a mix of several real concepts. So they're just making it up.
Yeah, provided that she actually said that. I mean, international business says that it is.
International business?
I don't know what that is, but International Business Times.
But what is demisexual though? What specifically? What is demisexual?
Well, what does demi mean? I feel like a moron.
Demisexual is a sexual orientation on the asexual spectrum. Think of it like
Yeah, I mean,
sexual
I know
attraction is a
demi
light.
it means like partly or. Demisexual meaning someone who only feels sexual attraction after forming an emotional connection.
Yeah, so here's an example. You might think someone is cool, fun, or attractive looking, but you don't feel the sexual pull until you really know them deeply. So they're basically like women.
Yeah.
Well, no, not
unless you're Akash's wife at a white frat.
or that
Yeah.
with a bunch of white frat guys.
Yeah. Where was she when I was in a frat?
I don't know, man. There's too many terms.
Yeah, it's weird.
Too many terms.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You just gotta let people be.
Yeah.
I don't care. I wonder what it'd be like to actually be around them in real. I mean, I wasn't really around them. But I will say this: at the event that I worked, they didn't allow any meat to be served, and the main app entree was like a radish and carrot wrap.
What's that? Carrot wrap? A carrot wrap?
It was literally like a small like tortilla that had a radish and carrots in it, some sauce. And that was that was all the guests could eat, and like other small, but there was no meat that could be served there. Yeah, I don't know. I think they both look in person they are alarmingly unhealthy. Like I said, you have like immediate concern, like how could they survive anything in life? Like it seems like a cold would.
Fragile people we have to live around.
People like that movie though. Wicked
No, which one?
movies.
Wicked?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not into the musicals. The only one that
I
I
want
like.
no part of it.
Yeah, the only thing I like that I'll still watch to this day is Grease because.
Yeah,
just like
I don't know.
songs.
The minute I hear someone singing dialogue or exposition, I want to like claw my ears and eyes out.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
Same.
But, you know?
It's really not for me either. I remember back when I was growing up, like Rent and Chicago, like there were some people that oh, you should watch it. I'm like, no.
Nah,
not my thing.
Yeah, I had a friend that was like, oh, you should watch Les Miserables. It's so much better than like other musicals.
Oh my god.
And I watched like 12 minutes of it maybe, and I was like,
no.
Hey man, I just don't like musicals. So don't.
I'm okay with Disney musicals though, like the cartoon ones, because it's expected, and it's just like I just don't mind it because
like I love Lion King was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it just takes me out of it the minute someone starts singing their dialogue. I want nothing to do with it.
I think there was a scene in
to each
Rent.
their own.
There was a scene in Rent, and there was like a clip I watched, like I remember a while back, and this guy was on a bicycle. He's like, I'm running down the road, Ray. I'm like, okay, nope. No thanks.
But I like WWE, so.
Hey.
And those people would not like WWE.
100%. There's definitely a spectrum.
There sure is.
And man, that concludes this podcast. Is there anything you want to plug in, Brett?
Not really. I mean, if you're going to be in Shanghai, China in December, see me at the Universal Ballet Competition.
Nice. He'll be doing his 20 minutes.
Yeah, for the Chinese during a ballet show. I'm sure that would go well.
All right, guys. Again, thank you. Take care.